Okay, I'm here with Juanito from Modular For The Masses. What is this thing?
This is my modular synthesizer that I built. It's been about 2 years that I've been building these electronic circuits. I started with a audio punk or Atari punk console. This is right here. And when I built it, every time my hand would get close to it, it would change the pitch and things like that. It was on a piece of board, just point to point. So I realized I need some kind of enclosure, so I didn't know anything about modular synthesis at the time. I didn't know that everybody builds modules that are rectangular that fit into a rack. So I thought I need a tin can. That'll be a great metal enclosure. And so there we go. That was one of the first sound making circuits that I ever built. I have used it sometimes in my modular, but it's really rough and very noisy, as I'm sure everybody who has built one can attest to. And so then I started trying to build 808 voices. Are we still listening to it? Okay. This is my 808 kick. It is one of the first circuits that I built that actually worked from the 808 service manual, from Roland's own service manual. And so anyway, this is an 808 kick drum. I have an 808 snare, 808 clave, clap, maracas, cowbell. No, I mean, sorry, hi-hat, cowbell. So anyway, those are my 808s. Some of the other voices I have are Thomas Henry 555 oscillators. They're the best VCO I've ever used. I changed the pitch on something. So anyway, then some of the filters that I've built. Here's a ping pong delay.
So where do you get your ideas for this stuff? Where do the ideas come from?
I get my inspiration from YouTube, from listening to music. Sometimes I'll be listening to a track and there will be a noise. A good example is Wendy Temple, who has, I think one of her biggest songs is something like Death Adder or something like that. And it has this noise in it, which is just, I think, just a white noise generator going through a Salon key 2-pole filter with the resonance cranked just to the point of oscillation, and it's just this whoosh noise, and I'm just like, what is that amazing noise? And I try to think, how could I get that noise? And so then, that is an example of a circuit that I built, and it worked. It's my noise module used to be there, but it's broken. So I need to make a new noise module. No, it's very quiet, very low noise to signal ratio. So yeah, that is some of the noises that come out of acid house with the 303. I built this filter on purpose. Just yeah, right. And that kind of stuff is so some of my inspiration just comes from wanting to get those sounds and thinking about what modules they must have used, what circuitry must be involved, and trying to get something like that.
You gotta tell me about this.
Oh, Hello Kitty. I have loved Hello Kitty for maybe 10 years, and not even ironically, I actually like Hello Kitty because the graphic strength of the shape, the fact that she can be both completely ubiquitous and yet not have burned out Mickey Mouse is ubiquitous, but Mickey Mouse is stupid, right? But then Hello Kitty, she's everywhere, but I still see Hello Kitty on a backpack and I'm like, oh cool, Hello Kitty, because she's popular. I mean, she's very positive, very wholesome, and doesn't have much personality, so what's there to object to, right? So that's kind of why I like Hello Kitty. Plus, it's a little, people are like, what? Hello Kitty. Plus she's angry Hello Kitty with a red light in it. So
it's music for the masses anyway.
Modular for the masses is, yeah, sure. Well, I am not rich and I have a family, so I cannot afford to build my own modular. People who can't afford like $300 for a single module can build a module for $5. the oscillator is probably my best module, and it costs literally $4 for that module. I mean, the tin can is free. The knobs, the potentiometers are 20 cents a piece. The jacks are about 5 or 10 cents a piece. The chips inside are really cheap. The resistors are like a penny a piece or less. So bringing the idea of making your own modular system for very inexpensive is the way. I mean, that's for the masses, right? I mean, I'm not one of the elite who can buy myself a Moog rack, you know, or something like that. I will do. I'm only informally. Like, I have my Instagram account, which I try to put tips and tricks on. I'm going to be giving a talk tomorrow at noon here, and you know, all the information is out there. My own construction technique, which I haven't seen elsewhere, is basically point to point on the front with a power rail running along the top, and usually there will be a power rail running along the bottom. And then all the ground connections go to the back. So it is, I mean, this is 3 layers of paper bag. It's free. The copper wire is from Category 5 network cable. All my parts I get from AliExpress. It takes like 3 weeks to get here, but they're almost free. So it's affordable. And this is the only way people who are passionate about electronic music, this is probably the only way they could afford to develop it on their own. There's a community of very hardcore DIY synthesizer builders, and it is creative. It is not always perfect. In fact, it's always not perfect. Some of the noises you get are surprising. Some of them are terrible, but some of them are almost transcendently beautiful. So there we go. I don't know what else to say.